Game 3 is here, though. There's no time to waste. Let's jump on the battle bus. Let's see how fortune will favor the players this time around. We saw what Game 2 was. It was a left to right battle bus split. This time here, it does seem like it's going the opposite way. A little different flavor here, kind of taking shape right now.
But we're also very far south again, so it's going to make that run for the north, the glide for the north teams very tough. And for Bizzle and Diego in particular, trying to land at Sleepy Sound, I want to know, can they get their feet on the ground? Because every other time, they've been rifled pretty hard heading in.
Yeah, definitely. For Adrian and Kanata, though, 35-point or placement jump up for them, really putting themselves right back into the tournament. A 36 hop up for Lawrence and Blake there. We knew this is a team that was, again, getting this big contested drop spot from Condo Canyon. But wait for them to make an end game out of that. That was impressive across the board, as Rise will find Blake this time around. He doesn't even touch down safely. Or Threats gets shaded there too. Is that from the hands of Miro off in the distance? What just happened?
Yeah, I think they were able to put the shots down over there, trying to close the gap here, but Lawrence going hip to hip here, trying to utilize that Ranger and just get in there. But, I mean, honestly, if you asked me to hip fire this weapon, I wouldn't hit a shot. Lawrence on the opposite side of it, though, is trying to put in the work, trying to get some of that regular HP down. He knows roughly where Rise is, and if he can prevent Rise from getting the pickup onto Threats,
Miro.
he should be good. But, like you were talking about, the harassment coming in from the side.
And that's why the zone play is such an important, kind of into shaping the story, right? Because the way the battle bus played out, it allowed Miro to touch down first and then get those eliminations early, which allows Lawrence to actually ultimately clutch up his drop spot here at the Condo Canyon.
But they're actually going to get 6 points from that because Blake was the one who got the final knock. So now there's potential that they should...
Hello. What? Bye-bye, Scented. Quanti's back. He's here to play, using the Mantle mechanics to hop on over and just give him a face full of lead.
I mean, you know me, I love talking. I'm very ever speechless, but that just, I had to stop for a second. The Mantle into the immediate shot, dropping him down there and then making sure he's meeting up with Larson. That's what they're gonna need to get this ball rolling. Don't forget, we got 12 games. There's still a long finals going through here. So now we're gonna swing on over to Sleepy Sound.
This is not a safe drop by any means. Hands to Thatcher the team off in the distance, while within the top 10, playing very, very well here so far to kick things off. But Slacks and Clarity G, second place now, contested drop spot. We saw what happened in Game 1. Game 2, they actually allowed Bizzle and Diego to jump back in and play their game out. It worked out pretty okay for them, right? They earned some points, but this time here, Slacks and Clarity G, if they can get 6, they jump on up to second.
And you can see Slacks checking the audio cues there. He knows he's aware of it. He's communicating that to Clarity G right away, who's trying to come around and find an angle. You can see it on the map. It's that little tan circle there in the house. And Slacks knows he doesn't want to overcommit because of Bizzle and Diego push out. That's something when it comes to dropping at a new spot, finding the angles and knowing how to actually properly take this 2v1 is really tough.
That's actually a huge find, though. Just an SMG right here really optimizes his his early game battle, right? He's just going to go ahead and put the AR down for now. That's not great for mid-game or end-game, but hey, for early game, that SMG is going to be super huge. So a little more confidence coming into Clarity G and Slacks now as Clarity finally slides it up. Also notice he has the brick reservoir right here, so that's going to allow them to cap out really quickly. So already they have a very healthy amount of material. It is not looking too hot for Bizzle. Down low and Diego on the outskirts. Pansto and Thatcher looking on in. Here comes the fight, though. Things are going to start breaking out. Bizzle back against the wall here. No shield find for him. Already starting to lose control of the walls, too, so gotta be careful here.
Trying not to get backed into a corner because that's exactly where Clarity wants you. And if he's able to dictate the pace of the fight, it's really difficult. But look how much Bizzle and Diego are investing in terms of putting the brick up in the walls. They want as many cones, they want as many layers between them and Clarity and Slacks as possible because, like I said, Clarity this season, he's been good, man.
And you can just tell he's playing smart. He's slow, steady, methodical with the way he's taking these walls here. Even going as far as trying to bait Diego out from the side box there. He jumped in and said, hey, yeah, let's see if you're going to make that edit. He's not allowing himself to get punished here. Very smart, very high-level play, guys, from our professional players right now. Sleepy Sound's fight is drawing a lot of attention, though. Those Southern teams now starting to edge their way on up, just looking on in, trying to see what's going on the other side.
And one of the things that's been beneficial for almost all the duos is we haven't had too ridiculous of first pulls on the zones. Everything has been relatively centered. You're not going to get pulled all the way to the one side of the map, so kind of lets these fights play out a little bit. But as we see some of the shots coming in from a distance, and we're going to swing on over the cavern when we saw that Avery's already been taken down, but Muzz is still off on his feet, so he's one of the 3 solo riders who's still around. It was Walkers who picked up the Elam on them.
Walkers and Scare Bear, man, managed to jump in that last game, go ahead and put some points on the board for them. Again, a team that has just been making their appearances, continue to pop up and show up. Command Cavern is no easy drop. You have players like Elite here, Bank, Muzz, Avery, the high ground of Degen and Niamzo, right? Looking down and always tempting you to go ahead and peek so they can just burn you from the skies above. So there's a lot going on here. What am I say? A bit of sensory overload can kick in here with how many teams are in this general area. I forgot to include Nico and Polarize, right? So you can see there's a little too many hands in the kitchen pot.
Yeah, I mean, you don't necessarily want to end up in that situation, but as we've seen, Command Cavern, it's been pretty strong here. As in a nice little quick stat in the top right, Peterbot already has more elims by himself, 10, than all but 2 other teams have in total. My question would be, who do you think those 2 teams are, Monster? I know Booga and Miro is one of them.
I mean, all of our teams up at the top, Chip and Spade might be up there as well. They're definitely the ones leading with elims. They've been popping off. They have those solo pop-offs. None like Peterbot, though. Peterbot definitely put up some incredible numbers. But look, he didn't actually overrun the Collider this time. They actually played a little bit safer. So, you know, we do tend to see when teams that are in the lead change up their playstyle, it backfires. So I'm a little bit worried for them not being as aggressive as they started off.
Yeah, let's see if that ends up playing into the first surge, because when we talk about pacing of the match and with this slightly more centered zone, we've slowed down a little bit. Only 1 full duo has ended up being eliminated. We do still have 2 solo riders out there with 1 of the reboots coming through, so there's a little bit of space. Actually, there's a second reboot coming through, so only a single solo rider out there. I was about to say, the other one, Slacks and Clarity G, because we've been seeing Clarity G just push the pedal to the metal, but I mean, Slacks keeping pace with them too. He's fragging out.
Great point there. Clicks and Day, though, try to do that ambush play. They try to slide into that fight there over in the desert. Does not work out. They're forced back out. What's important, though, is they get their hands dirty. They get some tags. They put their numbers on the board here, put the score up. And now they make their way on over to try to get some launch pads here. Let's see if they have enough gold to go out and make these exchanges. Back on over to the Command Cavern, though. The battle basically continues to rage on here for Muzz and Avery. Now being down, Muzz has to play this one out with a hero's effort on his own. We know there's a couple of options when it comes to playing for the pickup here, but this many teams being at the Command Cavern, it's not looking too hot as the zone is somewhat favorite this general area here.
And if you are just tuning in, welcome. We are closing in on the halfway point here of day 1 to the quarterway point overall of the NA East. Chapter 3, Season 2, FNCS Finals, whether you're watching on Twitch, YouTube, watch.fortnite.com, Twitter, or in-game in Legends Landing. Hey, if you're in-game, hit us with your favorite emote right now. If you're in chat, hit us with who you're rooting for and let us know. But thanks for joining us. This is a fantastic day to watch some amazing Fortnite.
Yeah, if you're in the Toronto area and you're planning on checking us out tomorrow in theaters, don't forget them as well. We'll be seeing you on the big screen. Such cool things happening in the Fortnite universe all the time, but let's see it here. Acorn and Edgy positioning up. Degen and Niamzo up in 4th place right now. Once again, this high ground hold of the Command Cavern. We've seen so many successful playthroughs of any of the teams that decide to claim the peak-most area of the Command Cavern. It just feels like a different game for them, and already again, they're breaking away with not only a great loadout, but great Storm Surge tag for the most part. That is one of the benefits of having the peak of Command Cavern.
Yeah, and we will get that second zone reveal, and we're going relatively south. You can see we only have 6 or 7 duos in there. A couple more who aren't too far away, but everyone's on the northern side is going to get going, and Polo actually getting on the board. Polo and Shoni, one of the few first-timers here in the finals, and they had a really, I don't want to say explosive, because it was kind of a build-up there where they had a couple tough qualifier rounds, but then once they got into semifinals, these guys were able to go up against some of the best duos in NA East and really take the fight to them. But right now, somebody's got the fight being taken to them.
Not looking good right now for Clarity and Slacks. Looks like they were pushed out the zone and they were getting rolled on really quickly. Bizzle and Diego fighting back here from the outside of the storm. Looking to get a little bit of revenge right now, but it's SMG on the other side of the fire here. Gotta be careful. These are big damage, high fire rate weapons that can shred through you before you even notice. You lose a wall, and it's not looking good for Diego and Bizzle here as the shot starts to fire on through. Clarity G and Slacks, man, trying to pick up a quick 6 here. They find Diego. Can they get the rest? Of course they can. And just like that, they edge their way up. Yeah, hit the dance, Diego. You definitely deserve it. Oh, sorry, Clarity G there as they start to rack up. And they're in second place now off of those elims. So a huge swing already.
And I talked about at the top of the show, honestly, I'm feeling a little not intelligent for second-guessing myself, as I'll get onto that point as I want to talk about Shoney and Polo. Again, they've been fighting incredibly well. Going to utilize the Chug Splash to try and just keep his teammate up here, but he wants the wall-to-wall with Austin. You can see he's trying to be cognizant of that edit coming through. Doesn't quite get the wall replaced, and he needs to be careful here because Austin could take advantage of him. He's actually able to wall him off. He's going to back off, slam down the armored wall, and say, no, you come to me.
Shoney and Polo, solid players. You can see that they've been holding their own this time around, though.
Tough.
Bested by Nawson and Bryce, so there will be a
We've
pickup
been very
play
good,
there.
too.
Also, great players, but what's cool about Shoney and Polo is how well we've seen them play throughout the course of the weeks. Obviously, those semi-weeks, those lead-ups in the qualifiers, putting a spotlight on this new duo, now popping off here. And also, they changed draw spots. They were in Greasy Grove before. They mix it up. They say, you know what? Tournament means a lot to us, especially the finals. Let's play somewhere else. And they try their hand elsewhere. And they've been finding success all around the map. Cold is going to find Avery, though. Big knock right there. Avery is inside the top 10.
But that was after we had already seen Avery going down earlier, so he was when the reboots coming through, probably likely not necessarily having as many shields or resources to be able to utilize. So we're going to take a peek. Our current leaders on the left-hand side well over Surge, but right now my prediction, and sitting in 6th place, Jamper and Duke, they're 90 below, and they're not the only ones. We're likely going to have 10 other duos, or 9 other duos who are also under pressure, and probably 1 or 2 of the solos who are running around.
I'm also curious about my pick, Kanat and Agers. They were at the Greasy Grove, one of the only teams over there in the zone was on that drop. They didn't play well in the zone, went their way the last time, finding it hard to find their surge tags. For Jamper and Duke, it seems like this zone also being unfavorable for them right now. But they are still in the game here, still plenty of time to start playing for tags. Lots of teams in the general area as we hop on over here. This is just a hot pocket of Slacks and Clarity G. They've been having a struggle here on the edge of the zone. The first time, they were almost down and out, but they find Bizzle. They find Diego. It manages to keep them in the tournament, but now being held out by other teams in this general area. In the feed, though, they find Smacked. So this is a big exchange happening here. Clicks is still up as well. This time, no surge issues. And I love that. Cones him off, just blasts him with all the arsenal that he could find there, and Cobalt goes down.
See, that's one of the things I think Clicks does better than almost any other player when he's on your wall. Where if he gets a timing and he knows he can go, he will capitalize on it nearly better than anybody else in the region, arguably in the world.
It's that lack of hesitation at best of the best.
It's a double-edged sword, right?
On over to Aviv. And Gold is actually down right now. So our 7th place team facing struggles of their own. Not only does he have a man down, but he has Surge to worry about here. He's 150 damage below. Things are really going to start getting active now. So here comes the pressure. Clock is ticking.
And it's not going to stop ticking anytime soon here as we still have 85 players up.
Starts to go out.
Ooh.
Great exchanges there. A headshot picks that one up too. So that's about 125 pickup. In the feed though, Vert is down. Jackson is down. And V finds another headshot. Talk about clutching up here. But that's not going to be enough. Out comes the minis. Tries to go for that little exchange again, and no, just gets hit with the double burst in the exchange, and 8th place is down and out.
And it was right after he ticked over for Surge, but because he had to peek over and over, as we're going to swing over to your prediction, they're 130 below, have plenty of flops to offset this initially, which is one of the best things when you're under Surge because they take so little time to consume. But Kanata, he's not in that circumstance. He has to go and he has to fight. 29 damage below with only 74 HP. Any solid shot from a shotgun will hit him. I mean, Fishy and Kaz, they will put the pressure on.
And you can hear it's an auto shotgun on the side of that wall, so it's going to do a lot of damage. It's going to be intimidating as well. The Surge will turn off here, but once again, Kanata and Agers have managed to struggle with their Storm Surge. Fishy and Kaz, the windmill team that lands so close to them, has really been giving them a problem, and you can see that it has not been an easy turnaround for them to get those eliminations time and time again for Pledge and Teo, a team that needs to bounce back here. On the rotate right now.
The Surge did turn off. We're at 70 players, 69 now with 36 duos remaining, so one more will need to go down before we have that first placement point given out, and there it is.
Nicely done. Teo is hurt. Pledge is hurt. This is a team that has obviously fought the battle against the Storm Surge, and it did not play too well for them as they don't have any additional heals to work with here. but everyone's more focused on the rotate. Everyone is focused on playing it slow and steady. Slacks actually finds himself knocked. Wonder what happened there. This is actually Donnie and Macwood there, right behind them. Great tags from Pledge.
If I would guess when it comes to Slacks and Clarity G, they were way out in the zone and fighting kind of on that northern side. And yeah, that's what's going to happen. Back to it. And now Clarity G, he's under pressure himself. Shots coming in on the back. And if one of our top teams ends up going down, there is room at the top of the leaderboard. So far, we have seen our top three. They've been pretty consistent, making the back-to-back top 10s and adding an Elam. However, the second you falter, that's when you get that little shoop. And there's plenty more room at the top of the leaderboard, especially with 9 games to go after this one.
Yep. Slacks is down then. Stretch is down as well. One of those players that fall inside the storm line there. So you can see that struggle really starting to take its toll here. Clarity G, though, just holding on here. 2 bandages. Give the man a second to pop it. But no, it's not going to be enough here. Back into the old build you go. 3 just to work with. I mean, it does look like it's only a matter of time. Pamso Fash might be finding this unless TK and Playify turn this one around here. And they go. They're on the hunt now. They don't find him, though.
TK needs to be careful there because you can see the other team who's right next to him is looking for that tail ledge, but all of a sudden they're under pressure and not sure who was able to slip the shot in there, but second place falls.
Blake and Lawrence,
Rokan
4
got that
elims right now, starting to get active here. Way to bounce back in the tournament after a rough game 1 and an early takedown at the Coney. This is looking really, really good for Blake and Lawrence. Like we said before, you let Blake and Lawrence get into endgame and it's going to be a problem. This is a team that is very bold and will play for height.
That is a massive investment of metal there. I'm hoping they're sitting on another repository or that they're really valuing this power position because they just burned through nearly half of their metal. But right now you can see Jiden and Yamzo, they're boxed up right next to Clicks and Day, and I'm not necessarily sure that's a bear you want to poke.
This is looking great for them, though. 12 chug splashes for Yamzo here. He's got 6 himself, so 18 collectively for the duo. Launchpad in play, 3 armored walls as well. Where did they get all this loot? The command cavern is usually pretty good, but my gosh, this game might just be theirs just based off of a little bit of luck that they picked up. Clicks and Day actually managed to maintain a strong position here, though, for the first time today. So far, game 3, this halfway, this pivotal moment in the tournament, they have a great position here on the lobby.
But we should get a warning on Surge, and that's exactly what I wanted to see. Where are they on the threshold? So we'll get the first little blip, and that's actually the true nope. Like I said, the first blip generally tells you how far the lowest team is below. So with only 33 being low, that tells you that these duos are right on top of each other. This number's going to ping pong back and forth. If you're Clicks and Day, that 117, 145, we say like above 150 is about safe. I'd say they should be fine for this one, but somebody who's not right-hand side of the screen, Walkers and Scare Bear, they're going to get active.
Just a single tag is what they need to go ahead and give some other teams some more pressure. And remember, it takes 30 seconds until the zone closes, and then it gets active and it starts damaging the opponents that are alive in the game. So we'll see who's below. We'll see who doesn't find their tags here shortly. Walkers and Scare Bear, everything's on the line right now. They're slowly slipping away. That means the teams right above them are starting to take away with it.
But Kanada was able to get a knock, and Cold immediately returned it over as Quanti ended up going down. Chimp falls to hide and seek, and there's going to be a little bit of room, but 5 seconds until the 25 damage. Every 5 seconds goes through, and you can see Aegis desperately trying to get back to Kanada, but shots are raining in from everywhere.
Yeah, the lobby's starting to focus in from the distance. It's not looking good for Kanada and Aegis. Cold and Scented, however, have this great angle here, and they're starting to pressure in onto other teams. Kanada gets fully finished there, so Cold or Scented will get his full elimination credit. Now they're starting to look up. They said, hey, wait, if they got finished, we need to turn this around. Let's go ahead and get these Elans, but no, they don't find any. But the speed still lighting up here. Quaz down now. 4 players. 1 player has to go down.
They really need a refresh. I don't know if you saw that, but Cold has no excess shields on him, and he's almost out of light ammunition, which as a low ground team, you really can't afford to do. You have to be constantly pressuring walls as Storm Surge will turn off. We have 2 solo riders out there, so we still are 1 away from that cascading placement points, and 5th zone is revealed with, hey, most of the lobby already posted up and chilling.
Yeah, and this is because of all those other fights that were dragging on here. Agers is still alive, though. You can see him barely holding on to 14th there on the outer edge. Jamper and Duke, though, looking for a launch pad. They find one, getting tagged out from behind. And no, those are big tags. He actually blocks himself off as well. That is not good. That's Agers, who's right on the heels here. But Duke gets in. He's starting to move. Can he find a safe spot? Yes, he can. Off to his teammate, now playing hip-to-hip. This is nice for him. They're back in. They will be able to save themselves this time here. Yam's own Degen starts to touch down. Sentin and Cole are still up. Ager is once again that solo, skating his way out the backside. Look at Fatch and Pamsa though, holding on to top 7. A little angle here, very cheeky. He gets some tags, but no, that was Ager's. That would have been a full finish had he connected.
And I mean, they desperately need it. They have to get a refresh. When we talk about refresh, that means finding eliminations, and even if you're not the one to get them, players drop all their loot and you need to pick it up. As we sent it, actually gets the confirmation onto Agers. We have our top 25, so 1 point going down to every team. Each duel that drops after that will be an additional point. And our game 1 winners, Pamso and Batch, they need to find more, but luckily for them, they have a pretty good priority position on this moving zone.
That's the second time Agers has fallen, and 26 just outside that extra placement point.
Oh,
that is probably one of the most painful times to fall there when you can see the points in reaching distance here. For Cold and Scented, things are starting to click here, but desperate, right? Desperate in the HP compartment, desperate in the overall material compartment as well. Let's take a look at High Ground, though, a team that hasn't really performed yet today. Playify and TK looking to make a statement here in Game 3. Already poising themselves up. Bank and Elite finally make it out of Command Cavern and into endgame for themselves, and look at what they have managed to do with it. They have 7 elims, a launch pad, plenty of loot, so far above the Surge as well. This could be their game. They're definitely heating up.
And Peterbot finds Fatch, and then Day ends up getting a pair himself. So still pushing towards the top of the leaderboard. Peterbot and Byla doing an incredible job in that regard. Don't forget our second place duo of Slacks and Clarity G fell early, so a little bit of daylight, but Booga and Miro are still up going through. Pamstow trying to do it as a solo, looking for some room. Will find the recycle pad. He's going to go straight to the front side of the zone as we see Joji pick up Macwood and Oliver OG pick up Crumble.
He's only got enough for 1 box, though, so he truly needs to take a fight here. Onto the side he goes, use that Manson going and stop his momentum. There it is, catches Walker. Walker says no. Quick drop kick and shuts him down. Out of the box he goes on High Ground. It's Lawrence, it's Blake. We said they will play for High Ground if you let them get into this end game, and they are here. They are there on Height. Scented looking hurt though. He is down and out of HP. He's gonna have to figure something out. Lawrence and Blake, however, starting to get active here. 4 elims now.
And they have so much room because of where the zone is pulling. Nobody's been there, but Peterbot and Byla ripped it away.
This is crazy. They actually come on up. They want to take this fight here. They have such a lead over the lobby as well. They can risk it all here, and it works out. Look at the skeleton of the build. This shows the story in its own here. A fight for height. Blake and Cruz start to launch that on and off. They don't want that static. They don't want the action up top. They have a game to play out here, and out they go off to the side. But Peterbot and Byla really making a statement here.
And then you can see on the low ground, Mud's trying to continue to run through. We've talked about how he's had a tough time with Avery staying up on his feet, but he says, don't worry, I'll do it myself, as Clicks ends up going down. Roken and Joji find a pair. Oliver gets the confirmation on that side, as Iamzo ends up picking up Day, and we're closing in on our top 10, but Scented right now barely has any minis, whereas Booga and Miro, for what feels like the first time, are hip to hip, and as soon as I say that, Booga opens up an edit, and he takes so much damage, and not really time to put it back, and he's gonna fall. It's all gonna be on Miro again.
Huge edit from Mega there to take out Booga, and the full finish comes through. Miro has to clutch him by himself now for Elite and Bank out of Command Cavern. They are already approaching 10 eliminations. Miro goes down to Nets on the outside there, and Scented is still alive here. A solo effort right now to try and clutch this one up, and already at 6 elims, almost 90 points. What more can he do here? He's definitely done enough as he's gotten into that top 10. No build, solo on the side, he doesn't catch him. Player underneath this wooden box, will he fight for that one? In the feed though, Mega goes down, that's a full finish there. And here it is, great tag, down goes Nets. He's smart, and it's clever, and it's patient, and that is why Scented is still in this game.
And this grid space is so key, because you get just enough space down there, and if he owns that, he can edit his walls, and anybody who falls down will get taken out, as Bank ends up finding Roken, and we almost have a solos competition as Elite ends up finding a pair of them. He got another, Scented got another on the low ground, but up top, we talked about them needing to fall, and Peterbot and Byla say, it's our world, you're just living in it.
He's definitely playing this one out. Peterbot and Byla are starting to break away with a monstrous lead here, setting themselves up for another victory royale. Down comes Scare Bear, he gets shut down. It's a 2v2.
Wait, whoa, the low ground team has 14 elims? Hello?
Yeah, Elite and Bank have really turned this game into something special. This is a huge story maker tiebreaker for them. It's going to put them inside that top 10, now top 7. I mean, there's a lot of placement points, and of course, Elam points here waiting. Elite with the side angle. I love it, but he messes up. He falls there. The Mantle doesn't quite come through. Up and over he goes, so Elite's on top. He's going to go in and heal himself out. Bank already taking the fight to the wall here. It's looking great for him, but he's pinched.
No builds. He's trying to find an angle, trying to get the Mantle up. He's going to give the Siphon over, and Peterbot's going to be able to pick that one up. But Elite, if you're going to clutch up, now's the opportunity. He has the position.
Great pre-fire there. He still has mats as well. And this is it. He's in. Commits. Great tag. The zone does the rest. And yes, Peterbot is hurt. Byla is also hurt. They don't have mats. It's an ultimate low push. But no, he misses. Down goes one and no follow-up. Byla clutches out in the end. But man, what an explosive game there for Elite and Bank as they pick up 14 elims in the second place as well.
Nuts for them pushing through for that. I think they might have ended up picking up the 15th there going through, which I think will be an NA's record when it comes to the duo. But Peterbot and Byla putting it all together, utilizing that drum for elims, the VR, and in 3 games, Monster, they're averaging just under 50 points a game.